Good morning, dear friends and family, this afternoon on a Crystal Dragon Day. I didn't want to miss this one. Strikes me as somehow important. And I don't know, I don't like doing these double days. Forces me to put a photo together, edit a photo, and I don't feel like doing that. Anyway, I am driving once again. I hope the car noise is not too disturbing. If it is, please stop listening. I assure you, you're not missing anything. I haven't said a million times already. But I might want to speak a little bit louder while I'm riding over the cobblestones of Berlin. Suburbia. Okay, this is going to be a challenge. Crystal Dragon in the wave spell of the white dog, in the wave spell of love, loyalty, heart. Are we feeling it? And today, the crystal tone is when we come together. It's about cooperating. It's about universalizing. It's about carrying our experiences together, sharing, learning from each other, just listening to each other, telling each other what we've explored and experienced. Oh God, Tatiana, please don't start yawning. And on the Dragon Day, yeah, come. Okay. On the Dragon Day, thank you. We have the theme of nurturance, mother, birth, and new beginnings, and beingness. What is beingness as a noun? Beingness. Is there anything that is not being? How to not be? To be or not to be? That is not a question. That's a fact of life. Okay, friends, are you crossing the street or not? I guess you're not. How do we, yeah, so, I mean, it's kind of obvious. I think oh, no, road closure ahead. Oh. I love it when Google doesn't know about this stuff. But let's just see if it's for real. Or if there's a way around. Nope. There's not. All right. So that tone 12, the cooperative tone, is on the dragon. Being, nurturance, mother love, caring for each other, for ourselves, becoming, growing ourselves to whatever that means, developing ourselves, to, growing our soul, growing our... Dude! There's a crow in the street. It must have been something really good. They're so cheeky. Like, he was like up to a meter in front of my car, like jumping. Trying to get his thing, whatever he was going for. I love them. They're so smart. I love watching them. I'd love to talk to them too. I'd like to hear what they have to say. There was a story in Berlin where some policeman was really nasty to them, and then 4 of them came, and he was nasty to just one, and then another day 4 of them came and just attacked him. Watch what you do with the crows. I have a good memory, and they seem to have a good eye. I find that quite some intelligence. So we're nurturing ourselves and each other on this, to me, there's always an element of mothering each other. What does that mean? That doesn't mean keeping a friend or a fellow human like in diapers, it's not being someone's crutch, but it is being nurturing. What do you need? How can I serve you? And naturally, that works only really well, or I know that's not true, but naturally it presupposes for me that I can take care and nurture myself. And then life, my friends are nurturing me. We are social creatures. We need to be with each other and in a nurturing way. Okay. Is there anything else to say? That seems just like totally just touching the surface, and yet what could be deeper than that? Faith, red dragon represents primal trust. And somewhere I heard this thing where one of the cornerstones of human well-being, they have found out oddly, I'm not sure now, I don't remember Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I should remember it, but I don't right now. So I don't know if believing in something, faith, having faith, where that was, if that was a part of that pyramid. It's definitely ranks somewhere in there. And I personally, it depends what faith, how you define, not how you define it, but what you have faith in. It's possible to entirely not have or need to have an external source to have faith in. One can have entirely faith in oneself, in life, in one's own ability to meet anything that happens in life with one's own abilities, and assume to be okay, or to assume to not worry if ever one is not okay. And maybe the assumption will always be fine is a little utopic. But we deal with it when we get there. We don't worry about it ahead of time. Which once again leads me to this topic of the worry about AI. There are people in their worry about it issuing warnings. And in that perspective, it's totally understood. It's like, yeah, if we don't do something about this coming danger, or if we don't, we gotta do something about it. We gotta, I don't know, whatever can we do about it? If a tsunami is coming, there is nothing you can do about it. And this AI thing, whatever it is going to be, all we can do about it is believe in it, believe in ourselves, have faith in something that has put us here, that keeps the show going, that is a benevolent God, is what I would say. It's not the only thing we can do. What we can also do is to assume whatever happens will be all right. Some of us may not be, but we can't save everyone. I don't know. It's a difficult topic to talk about. And when we're in that place where, like, my God, I imagine, I'm German, I imagine the rise of the Third Reich and people who saw it coming, who saw it happening, and then, you seriously risked your life warning, and many of us have died many times in exactly that, seeing the lies that were being spread, seeing how the sheep is being led to the slaughter, and that you can't issue a warning. The sheep will bite you for it very many times. It's just not in, it's just, we're interfering severely with their basic instinct, which is to follow the herd, to follow some other leader. And if they've decided whatever their leader is, it's hard to sway a crowd. It's doable, but... And then what does it... Yeah, okay, that's a big topic. Why am I talking about this? But I see how people are trying to sound a warning bell, and are we enforcing each other's fears? Anyway, I've spoken about that. Right now I'm in self-love mother mode, not in I want to spread my opinion about the topic mode. So I'm not going there. I just wish peace to everyone in this transition, in this relatively difficult for many people time of shift. This morning I had this thought about the sheep as well, and I thought to myself, you know, I also am a sheep. I hide in the herd to spread peace. So if the herd is marching to the slaughter, then may each moment of each individual sheep, while they are alive, be really pleasant, so that the moment of possible terror is really short. What would love do? What did Jesus do? He said, I don't know if he said it or if it's another biblical quote, about we may not disturb, nobody may disturb my little ones in their faith. Or is that a quote from the Quran? I'm not sure right now. It was all a long time ago, but it made sense to me. Let people be in their own choice of life, of faith. Support them. I remember many years ago, a dear friend of mine wanted to get married, and she asked my advice whether I thought it was a good idea that she got married to her boyfriend. And I said to her, since you're asking my advice, I do not think it is a good idea that you do. And I stated my reasons. And as I was stating my reasons, I could feel everything in her go like, oh no, that is not what I wanted to hear. She said, I am going to marry this guy. I said, if you're going to marry this guy, I am fully supporting you. Fully behind you. Go for it. Absolutely. Attached to the dragon. Analysis mode is not called for me. You can skip it if it's not called for you either. Let me try if I can do it. Maybe someone at another time is listening who's like, oh, please give me more analysis mode. I want to understand this thing. The dragon is the antipode to the monkey, and the monkey in this wave spell is in the lunar position, which means it's the challenging position, if not adequately aligned. Should I call it that? Can I call it that? The inner child and the mother relationship is monkey and dragon, and in the wave spell of dog, then that's really what will stabilize the monkey. So as adults, we have become responsible for our inner children. We have become parents. Every adult is a parent. Every adult is really two parents to their own inner child. And yeah, that's an interesting journey. So the sun is also attached to the dragon in the occult position. Consciousness, highest form of consciousness, Christ consciousness. So the question on days like Dragon Days, what would Jesus do? What would the Prophet do? What would Buddha do? What would my best friend do? What would my own inner child do? What would my most loving, kindest inner heart do? Fill in the blank for yourself. Can be very valuable. What would I do if I were really in alignment with myself? What would I do right now? Am I doing right now what I would be doing if I had every choice of my life fulfilled? It's a stupid question, but am I in alignment with myself? Would I be doing what I'm doing right now? In my particular case, yeah, totally. Right now, yeah. It's a good question, and it's a bit scary to answer, but I believe, talk about the resonant warrior in this wave spell, fearlessly asking some questions, to be able to ask. I'm not always able, I haven't always been able. In the past, I can't speak for the future, don't want to turn my past into my future, but it has been known to me, about me in the past, that there's certain questions about myself I want to ask. I can see the question, but that's all I can do. I see the question, I can't ask it, if you get my meaning. It's very strange. It's like it puts my system out of alignment. I just can't face the potential answers. And I think, well, we may all relate to that. I want to hear only what I want to hear, and to me that's extremely shameful. I don't like that about myself, but it teaches me compassion with myself, it teaches me humility. It's like, oh man, that's a part of my humanity that is so hard, so difficult. But I'm learning, working with my inner child, to drop the fear of asking the question, because you can do it for a while, and sometimes it's a momentary thing, like, oh, I don't want to ask myself whether I want any ice cream right now because I'm afraid I should say yes, and I really think I shouldn't have any. I know it's a stupid example, but you know what I mean? It's like that moment passes and we're good. In that case, no problem. But when it comes to a few more fundamental aspects of life, am I being true to myself with some of the decisions I'm making? Some of the more fundamental decisions. I need my inner child to feel safe with me or within herself, to be safe with every answer that could show up, and to understand. What do I need to understand? You see, the interference pattern is that the minute an answer shows up that I consider problematic, I have I don't know, my inner masculine or something kicks in and goes, we gotta fix it, we gotta change it. And there are certain things where I'm thinking, oh, if that answer shows up, this is the solution. I'm assuming, I'm running on assumptions. I'm not dealing with reality. But this running on assumptions and a lack of creativity, because I'm clearly not thinking to myself, hey man, maybe a totally different option could show up. What do I know? What if I just be honest about the thing that I'm discovering, that where I'm maybe not truthful to myself? Maybe just the act of becoming truthful about it opens doors I can't even imagine. I have to tell myself that frequently, to dismantle the fear of, if that answer shows up, it means, and then they run a bunch of assumptions, all of which are highly problematic to me, to some part of me. What is that part of me? Oh, hello, come out, show yourself. Judgment, fear of failure, need to protect, need to be safe, need to know better, I should have known better, told you so, fear of reprimand, fear of being an idiot, fear of making mistakes, all that shit. What's the one common denominator? Fear. But what am I doing if I'm not facing that, or if I'm not... I mean, it's like, no, it's childish. It's like, I'm not eating anything. I'm refusing to eat out of a temper tantrum. And I have such a strong will that I can refuse to eat for days and I don't realize, I don't know, I'm killing myself. Or I'm missing the party. There's my favorite food, my favorite cake, and I'm just sulking. It's like, no. You know, not getting myself out of it. And this inner sulk, I tell you one thing. Those of you who know me will not believe it. Oh. Sometimes I think I'm like super powered on all accounts. And when I sulk, I can sulk for fucking life. Some of you may relate to that. It's a terrible thing. I can see where I get it from. And I can see it's like, it can be confused with being something honorable. Like having an honorable, like, stance about a thing. Like, no, it's not the same. Sulking for life is like a part of me just sabotages herself. Because it's like, no. You treated me wrong. I will never forgive you. I talked about forgiveness the other day, and ability or inability to forgive, self-forgiveness. I can say something goes into resonance inside of me. I can't see what exactly it is, but I always want to say, I don't have anything. Forgiveness is a no-brainer to me. Like, what? I don't need to forgive anything. But something in me is like, hey, wait a minute. Where am I? I can't even say it. Well, okay, there you go. It's totally in the shadow. It's like, stupid. And some part of me right now is totally gleeful, saying, yes, I have won. And I will keep on winning. You will not catch me out. I can see where that comes from. I can see the child in me that's sulked like that. Like, I will never, ever show myself again. I will never, ever. Oof. And those things have power. When we do that, they're like a curse. They have power. So these child aspects in me, they cannot, I don't know if they can come out by themselves out of this deadlock. Literally, it's a deadlock. But can the mother in me love me, hold space for these parts of me enough? Oh my goodness, I'm going to start bawling in a second. Jesus Christ. I am not using his name in vain. Thank you very much. What would Jesus do? Love me into oblivion until I'm a weeping bundle of... Wow. I can't even describe this sensation. It's not painful, it's not sad, but it's painful, it's sad, it's really strange. Oh my goodness. Yeah, sometimes we grow up in this world of fairy tales, like someday the prince will come. I don't know what world boys grow up in when it comes to that, but girls very, very frequently have this notion of and then a lot of religious paradigms have this notion of a savior. Somebody has to come and save us. Well, Christ's second coming is inside us, so it's us. It's inside of us. Even if it's not us, it's still inside of us. If we want to separate ourselves from Christ consciousness, which we will reach it when we're no longer separating ourselves from it. Oh, I'm about to arrive. And then I have another 5 minutes to drive, so I will be back. All right. What would Tati do? Achieve. Blue hand, achievement. Who's guiding this dragon, by the way? It has to be the Skywalker. So explorer of space. So together we nurturingly explore the space of love. Exploring the space of love. The space of love. Exploring the space of love. You know, the words are slightly different. Seriously, it takes brevity. Love requires brevity sometimes. There's no dragon here. There's sun, Christ consciousness. Okay, I covered that. And last but not least, I covered the Skywalker scantily. Excuse me, or forgive me. And then the analog kin is white, the white mirror. And it really reminds us, it's a crystal mirror, but it also, to me, it reminds me of the mirror in this wave spell on tone 9, the solar mirror. So we have the crystal mirror and the solar mirror, this reflecting each other. We're always reflecting each other. In relationships, it's terribly easy to blame someone else, your fault, blah, 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 or it's because of you, I am like that. Yeah. We may describe a causal relationship in some way, in terms of something has caused a pattern. I've come to this planet and I have inherited ancestral patterns. But now, if I believe I didn't come from anywhere before my life, I may state it that way and believe it that way and leave it that way. If I believe I have come from somewhere before, I might say I am actually living my very own patterns that belong to me. Yesterday I spoke about this Bert Hellinger. Somebody sent me this fantastic 2 links about the mother wound and the father wound through the eyes of Bert Hellinger. Really, really good. And he says, if there's certain unresolved issues in a family member, you know what I mean, like, it could be anything, like, I don't want to divulge too far into this now. Certain unresolved issues, if they can show up in another family member generations later, like that person will now carry the unresolved thing from that other family member. Another way of looking at it, and it doesn't matter ultimately, because another way of looking at it is that soul from that family member back then is coming back in as this person now and is picking up their own story. Why it does matter is that it could be that that version can leave me ultimately responsible for all of my own patterns and issues. All the choices I've made and all of the lifetimes I've lived have led me to whatever. So I can't blame or make responsible another family member, because what Bert Hellinger does not know is how come, what is the law, what is the rule around why this person's issue shows up in that person 3 generations later. It's like that the why is not understood. And to me it doesn't matter. I don't have to compete with explanations, but perhaps it's because it's the same soul. It's the same aspect of, using the word soul is tricky because apparently there's about one soul anyway, but there are aspects of soul. So the quintessence in this wave spell is the wizard, tone 5, and the wizard stands for timelessness, enchantment, receptivity. So the quintessence is I got to tune into myself, understand what my pattern is. I may or may not understand where the pattern comes from. I may not need to understand where it comes from. If I understand that it is what it is, then I can attempt or hope or achieve blue hand. Yellow human, electric human has the electric blue hand, and it's no, it's the spectral blue hand because it's sitting. No, it has to be. It's a electric blue hand attached to the yellow human. You can go check out the video I made about that. But then we can heal. Then we can administer. We can know the medicine. And if we go to the dragon mama, the medicine is consciousness. The medicine is life, faith in life, belief in life. Blah 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 blah. Pick your medicine, but yeah, what's the but? Harking, is that right? Taking it back to my fearful, not questioning, not asking certain questions, or being afraid to ask certain questions. I can just remind myself that there's always a loving dragon holding my hand. There's always the divine. There's always a Buddha, a Christ, or whatever my figure is. There's always something that I may have separated from myself, as in you, Jesus, me, Tatiana, or you, Christ consciousness, me, Tatiana. I can be one with it and be carried, supported by myself. It doesn't matter whichever way I can choose to look at it, as long as I remember I am not alone. I have the resonant warrior is in my love, anchored in my love, in the way I love, the wave spell of love, the way we all love. But for me, I'm talking about me now. When it comes to love and loyalty, I need the warrior because sometimes I have to be loyal to myself and disloyal to my partner a little bit, or find a compromise of a nature that might be very tricky. Or I might have to compromise myself and tell myself, hey, this is okay. You can't have it your way right now. Another day. Whatever the case may be. Consciousness, the sun, the wherewithal to be present. To be present and then to be able to make a choice. Now I want to ask myself a question. The sun beneath this dragon. There's a sun in this wave spell. Oh, of course, tone 11. And this one would be tone 2. It's the lunar sun underneath this one. Because we're running the wave spell of the storm in the occult. Transformation. Transforming the past. Oh, yeah. And our consciousness stabilizes, destabilizes. My gosh, if you have memories, just had that topic today, when memories become assumed present and we don't understand. A friend of mine has chronic fatigue syndrome. And it's a very difficult thing to have, aside from the fact that it's a difficult thing to have, but it's like so hard to diagnose. You have all kinds of symptoms, but you don't have any necessarily biological, physiological, particular cause that can easily be identified. It's very hard to, and for all intents and purposes, you look just fine. So it's difficult for the world to accept that you're not fine. Anyway, but the thought occurred to me, what if all the pain you're feeling is a memory? Your body remembers and warns you, and it warns you by conjuring up the memory, and there isn't maybe a filter, maybe a very sensitive person, you feel it physically. There's nothing going on with you, truly, but you have all the physical memories of all the sensations, of all the trauma and the pain, and And then what to do about it if it's that. Not breathing the healthiest air here with a scooter right next to me. Were I in Bali, I would not be thinking that. I would be having 3,000 scooters just surround me on this traffic light. Worry about the air we breathe. Anyway, cyclist, where are you going? So I'm about to arrive. We reflect each other. We really do. And when we see issues in other people, it's very easy to say, "Oh, look at them, ha ha ha." And the problem they have, not realizing, you're looking in the mirror. In one way or the other, it's not always a direct reflection. It can be an inverted reflection. It might be the opposite, that you're not acknowledging how advanced you are or how good at something you are. It may be that it reflects back to you the thinking of good and bad, better and worse, which in itself is very often a malady. It's a problem. That kind of judgmental thinking, it's necessary in certain aspects, but it's problematic in others. So I'm not here to talk about the mirror, but the dragon. So we explore our love ability, our freedom to express who we are, who we want to be, how we want to love, how we want to be showing up in the world in terms of love. Aho, I have spoken. See you when I see you. Bye bye.